BMQ podcast, Johnson and Faye, you better recognize the tech.
But if y'all need drink, the drink Lord.
First off, I want to say, now that we on the podcast, is, you know what? What I'm about to say.
It's all right. We got Chris Kayla in the background. She a jackass.
Hey, shout out my boy Anthony Edwards. That's all I want to say to start this shit off. That nigga raw.
Isn't that the same nigga that just signed away his rights?
No, that's that nigga who said, fuck that baby, and here's $1 million.
That's what we
Fuck
heard.
the baby?
Fuck
What the baby do?
In the words of Charleston White, fuck that baby. You know why? Because that bitch thought she was slick. She not only had a baby that this nigga didn't want, she thought she was gonna triple the money, move to fucking California. The judge denied that shit, sent her, told that bitch, that's a Georgia baby, bitch. You gonna get that regular money. Now that nigga paid that child support up front and told her, you deal with that shit by your goddamn self.
So we're
I'm with
commending
Anthony.
a man for creating a broken home?
You damn right.
Okay.
Double down.
Okay.
Period.
So
I guess we starting off strong then.
yeah, we starting off strong, and let's start a little bit stronger to let you know that that shit didn't fucking happen. You one of them people that look at little Facebook posts.
No.
Talk about
and
it.
you don't check the fucking facts.
All shit.
Because old girl already said that shit ain't never happened. She never heard about that shit. People
She
made
said-
that shit up for content, homeboy.
She said that
Anthony
Dr.
Edwards did not
Umar
give her
song,
fucking
yeah.
$1 million. They still just arguing
Well,
about the baby.
alright, well fuck it. I just like the thought of it. The
You
thought
like
of it
the-
sounds
You
good.
like the thought of it?
You damn
So
right.
you like the thought of a black man doing the deed, no condom, no protection, no contraceptives, creating a baby,
A broken home.
a broken home,
Big broken.
and then being like, here's some money to throw it away?
Yeah, because y'all condone fucking gold digging, so I can't condone
Woo, 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 woo. Gold
y'all
digging.
condone tricking. Why the fuck I can't condone this?
What'd he say? It ain't tricking if you got it, right?
All I'm saying is this, right?
Right.
You fucking niggas in hopes of what you gonna come up with a come up. So, in my personal opinion, when a nigga beat a bitch at her own fucked up game, it's a win.
First of all, the game has been ran by niggas for years. Women are just upping the fucking quotas.
So just
That's all it is.
So now
upping the payment.
This the fuck up part, right? Now that y'all can up the score, it's cool. But when niggas was running game all this time, oh you niggas is wrong. Oh my god. You
No, niggas was dead ass
Yeah.
wrong for the shit
Oh
that they
my
was
God.
doing.
No.
And so women was like, you know what, instead of crying and bitching and complaining and moaning about
I-
it, we just gonna beat them at their own fucking game.
All y'all want to do is
And y'all are mad that we beat y'all at y'all
it
game
ain't
every
fun when the rapper
time.
got the gun. But you know what?
Hey, we gonna stop this shit. We
I'm
started
glad.
a little too early. Y'all already ain't each other fucking name.
Ready to
I'm
fight.
just saying.
Can we start the motherfucking show right now? Y'all
You right.
good? All hearts and mind clear? Can we
Yep.
start?
Always, always.
In Jesus' name we pray.
It's
Amen.
the motherfucking BMQ podcast. It's your boy Super Jack.
It's your boy Boss Man Quay.
And hello, I'm Felicia.
Okay,
I
Felicia.
like that.
Okay, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. Man,
oh.
I'm waiting to say
I
that
can't
shit.
wait. Boy, what? That's a punchline tonight.
You know, it's really not as clever as y'all make it seem.
Ain't
Once the
got-
white people got a hold of it, it really wasn't funny
It
anymore.
ain't gotta be clever. It's
Damn,
just
why
what
you
it
hate
is.
white people that bad? What's wrong with you?
I never said I hated them. I just said,
Nah, man. You said
know,
once white people got it, was
You do
fun.
give
Damn.
pro-black.
I am absolutely pro-black, baby. 110%.
That's a good question.
I can't stand y'all
Honestly,
niggas.
honestly, you know, as niggas, we know a lot of people who claim to be pro-black. But is there a problem when white people say they're pro-white?
They make it. They're supremacists. Oh my God.
Exactly.
go straight
They
there,
turned
bro.
it into that. So pro-black is never being anti-white, but pro-white is always anti-black.
So if
How
I'm
is
black,
that?
why I can't fuck a white girl?
Do whatever you want to do.
But
But
that's
what
okay.
did Dr. Umar say? Black queens forever.
First of all,
Nobody's never.
First of all,
No.
fuck Dr. Umar.
Thank you. I really want to say it. I'm glad
I
you said
don't
it,
fucking
bro.
respect Dr. Umar.
At
He's
all.
a bunch of super anti-woo.
That's a nigga
And
with
he
a
come
motherfucking
And Dr. Umar come off for a nigga who fuck white women, and then when you call him out about that shit, he'll be like, I'm just doing it for
Do it
my
for the
black
culture.
people. Shut the fuck up, all right?
Hate that,
I'm
man.
not fucking with that.
Dr.
I don't
Umar
like that
fucking-
whole concept of white people or whoever race you are. You can be pro wherever the fuck you are. 'Cause at the end of the day, we are all fucking human. At the end of the day. So, black people go on social media or Facebook and say outrageous racist shit about white people. talk about Karen, talk about this, that's white people shit, this is and that.
Time out.
But as soon as a white person say, oh, that's some black people shit,
That's some
some
nigga
woo
shit.
oh, y'all up in fucking rape. No, that's insane.
Hold up.
To feel like you can be pro-black.
If a white person is saying that's some nigga shit, that's absolutely racist.
Nobody says
Period.
nigga shit.
He
What?
said that.
I said that.
I said that's some black people shit.
Secondly,
I hate
white people being pro-white or I love my
Pro
race
myself,
is the KKK. That's
No,
what that is.
insane.
That's
You
them
something?
being completely
Unconscious of what y'all
racist.
believe. I actually believe in that type of shit. I believe there should be white supremacists. I believe in segregation. I believe in segregation. Niggas should be with niggas.
I do believe
White
niggas
people
should be with niggas. I do believe niggas should be with niggas, but I also think it's okay to hold racist white people accountable for their racism. I think it's also okay to hold white people who try to use the whole, oh, well, it was so long ago, or oh, this and oh, that. I think it's okay to...
Because none of us been slaves.
At all.
It's not about just slavery, though. It's about Jim Crow. It's about the fact that black men couldn't fucking vote. Y'all were seen as half a fucking person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no. It wasn't half. It was a quarter.
3/5.
3/5 of a person. Thank you.
Key word
That's
was past tense.
Yep.
That's not that no more. And the worst thing about
That's
that
not.
shit
So you're saying that you don't go out in society, especially in a white society, and you're not seen as just another nigga?
first of all, I'm a nigga, so typically I'm with a lot of fucking niggas.
That's not what I asked. That's not what I asked though.
But this is hold up before you say that. Does it matter what the fuck I'm seen as? As long as I'm providing for my family.
No, it doesn't matter what you're seen as.
So why the fuck would I care about another white person seeing me as just another nigga?
Because when they
If
see
I'm
you as
another
that, they
nigga
don't
getting
respect
money,
you.
I don't
And
care
as them not respecting you, they don't respect the spaces you're in. They don't respect your entire being. So say they can come into your being, into your space, and disrupt it because they don't respect you. That's why it's important.
But this is what I'm saying. It goes back to the old saying, respect it or check it. We don't have a lot of these white people ain't coming to a nigga like me being like, Quajon, I don't like blah, 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 blah. I'll stop the fuck up now. I operate in these white spaces at a high level. I could be what they call Uncle Tom. I don't give a fuck. As long as I bring this check back to my gal, as long as everything's straight at my house, fuck y'all. These crackers don't do nothing against me, and they don't do nothing for me. They just a fucking, they just not a factor. I don't pay them no attention, if you want me to be honest. Y'all only, and the sad part about it is y'all only care about, other niggas when they on the news.
And like,
Not true.
I ain't seen not a motherfucking
False
civil.
accusations. False accusations.
What's the last nigga who got stumped out by the police? What's his name?
It's not just
Yeah.
about the people that are on the news. I mean, it's important to bring awareness to things like that because the reason we're bringing awareness is because cops get off for shit like that. So it's important when shit is on the news to make awareness about it. However, there are a lot of things behind the scenes that are happening that don't get put in the limelight for reasons. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that maybe you're not a part of because you not quote unquote pro-black
Not at all.
with your black ass lifestyle and your black ass girlfriend and your black ass everything.
Yeah.
You apparently not pro-black, but
Black as hell, man.
exactly. So you are. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on in general that you should always be on the lookout for. But if y'all are only looking for when they put us on the news, that's y'all fault. That don't have nothing to do with us.
So you say
the only problem I care with that is, only thing with race, the only thing I don't like is share the exposure. It's like every time a white person do a heinous crime, it's highlighted for a second and then it's gone. But when a black person do it, they got you all in the courtroom. They got your whole trial going on. Young Thug been on everybody's screen for how long? But they got plenty of white people that been on trial that long. But they never show that. The white girl that was breaking.
You
all
sound
the
a
baby
lot
bones.
more pro-black than you trying to lead on to be. I'm just gonna say.
Not pro-black. I'm just saying. That's like equality.
but I feel like if you
That's what being pro-black is.
if
is
we
wanting
being
equality.
real, the
Yes.
reason why that is because a lot of black people don't even incorporate themselves in these type of spaces. You don't see a lot of black people in media. You don't see. Let's be real.
First of all, you do see a lot of black people in media.
Hey, content creating bullshit.
Not just that.
Let me say mainstream media as far as the news, other shit. Niggas can't speak on anything political. Niggas can't speak on civil rights. Niggas can only speak on shit that go on in the hood. I don't meet a lot of niggas who are even smart enough to articulate themselves in these spaces. Niggas that go to college ain't even smart enough to do that shit.
Okay, well, first of all, I also want to say that we try to hold black people to this high extreme standard where they have to be either perfect or they ain't shit. So that's probably why you don't see a lot of people or a lot of black people in quote unquote mainstream media. But that doesn't take away from the fact that they are content creating, that they are on social media. And social media is huge. Social media is quite literally huge. It can change your life in a night.
So do you think? So why doesn't the people why do you think the people in those spaces don't get enough recognition?
Because black people hold us back a lot of the time.
Okay, keep going.
And it's because
niggas don't really give a what.
It's not about niggas not giving a fuck. It's about like I just said, they feel like we need to be perfect or nothing at all. We can never be like imperfect, or we can never be like halfway ready or a little bit ready or anything like that. It either needs to be you are 110% ready to do whatever at all times and you have to be perfect at it, or you can't be shit. And it's because we're a lot harder on our own people than most people are on their own people, and then most people are on us outside of white people.
But ain't that how it's supposed to be? You think people harder on other people's kids than they are their own?
No, which is why white people have been ahead of times for a long time, which is why Chinese people are ahead a long time, or Asian people in general are ahead, because they don't hold their own community back the way black people hold their community back. For example, and I'm gonna make this the example every time. When black people have children, it's never about, or at least like especially probably like our parents, our grandparents, it's never about let me do what I can do to put my child ahead. It's always about let me do what I can do to put myself ahead.
Hold on. I got something to say about that shit. I think that's poor shit. I think that's poor people shit. Honestly, like only poor people be like, oh, if my kid blow up, he need to take care of me.
Okay, so
like,
how many black people are poor?
Plenty of them, but that's not my reality. Both of my parents are fucking successful.
And I love that for you, but that is not the norm.
Both of my parents are successful. That should be the fucking norm.
It should be, but it's not.
Because all y'all broke people need to stop having fucking kids. And I feel like that should be a fucking law. You should have to make a certain amount of fucking year on paper before you are legally
allowed to
have a fucking child. You know why? He be raised by like me. And you raised like me? Shit a little bit easier.
Bro, most parents don't even take education serious. Black parents. Charleston County School District is paying parents.
I mean, South Carolina in general is number 49, I think, or number 50.
I don't really pay education that fucking serious.
We are low.
Bro, we pay parents to take their kids to school. When the fuck you ever heard?
I did see that.
It's so high, you're not bringing the kids to school.
That's what I'm saying. So that obviously shows you that black people don't even give a fuck about the next generation black people.
But that's not starting from just then. That's going all the way back from the fact of...
Let me ask you a question. Did your parents make sure you get to school?
Absolutely, but...
Did your mama make sure you get to school?
Of course.
Wait, even
when you sick, if you grew up young and black, even if you sick, your mama still sends
you to school.
That is true. That is true.
As a babysitter, even if she didn't give a fuck about your education, she sent you to school for a babysitter. These motherfuckers done downgraded so bad that they won't even send their kids to school for a babysitter.
First of all, that is not just a black thing. That is not just a black thing.
I ain't seen a lot of Jimmy's.
I'm just saying. No, a lot of white people be missing school. I know. I've worked in the doctor's office for 3 years. A lot of motherfucking white people be missing school because they be coming up in that doctor's office to get their damn nose.
Because there's more poor white people than poor black people. But
that is true also.
That shit because I was talking to my partner about that shit. I was like, you don't understand how much more white people it is on earth than there's black people. Because black people...
we only make up like, 15% of the population?
Very small percent. There's more white people in prison. There's more white people actually getting killed by police officers than black people. But we don't actually see that shit because all we look at is our small scoop as niggas.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I apologize.
The whole killing by cops, white people thing... Police brutality in general is wrong, whether it is white, black, Latina, Asian, whatever. It's wrong, and it needs to be addressed. The reason it's televised for black people is because it's been happening since the beginning of time. That is why.
Yeah, because
And it's also 9 times out of 10 innocent black and brown bodies that are dying for no absolute reason.
Just put so-called innocent in front of that. Sorry, I'm just saying.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we just don't know.
I be knowing. Allegedly innocent
You assume it, but yeah.
black and brown bodies that are dying over nothing. So that is why it's mainstream, because it's important. I'm not saying the white people are need to die, or I'm not saying that they deserve to die. I'm just saying, like, police brutality in general is wrong, but it's mainstream in black and brown communities because it is allegedly innocent black and brown bodies.
I got a
before we
question.
pivot,
Have you seen a black person die of police brutality and a white person die of police brutality? Who do you care about the most?
I'm going to care about my people the most, but I'm going to...
You're going to hell.
That's fine.
You are fucking going to hell.
Because that go back to the thing of...
That's fine.
It does matter what color that person is on the other side of the gun.
It doesn't necessarily matter, but let me explain why I'm going to always care about my people outside of anything else. Because white people will always choose their white co-partners and their white community at all times. And I'm going to ride for my community 110%.
I'm not mad.
Always.
I'm not mad at that.
Always.
I'm not mad at that.
So if I'm going to hell for that...
As long as you're not mad at other people riding for their own rights.
I'm never mad about that.
I'm not mad.
I just want them to be respectful about it. That's my whole thing. Okay. Me being pro-black has nothing to do with not liking white people. I don't dislike white people because of the fact they're white. I dislike racist people, period. I dislike ignorant people, period.
I'll say this before we pivot. I think that the shit that black people do is glorified way more than what white people is glorified, because black people are opportunists. Way more of an opportunist than white people. So we take the word... Well, let me say this. But hold up. Let me say this. The fact that white people know that we're opportunists, they capitalize on the fact that they know that our innovativeness comes from struggle. Mm-hmm. So the minute
but it does come from a struggle.
Right. It comes from a struggle. But the minute something like that happens, they throw it on mainstream media, like the Black Lives Matter. All this shit stems from one bad situation. And if we look deeply into all these corporations and all this shit, they don't give a fuck about black lives. They steal y'all money. They go buy big houses on the lakes. They go do shit that niggas do. So at the end of the day, before we pivot, I'm gonna say I don't understand how niggas believe niggas.
And before we pivot for real, to stop stuff like that happening, shop black owned. Clock it.
Black
and now we can pivot.
Man, shop black owned if they worth a damn. Man,
shop black owned.
Do bad business.
I do not believe in shopping black when black ain't shit, all right? You can't cancel a hair appointment because you want to go get an outfit for the club that night. I don't got time for that bullshit. And like, I'm so... Man,
I'm sorry your outfit is 8 days late. I was busy with my turn at their birthday party. Bitch, fuck your turn.
I'm sorry.
Like I said, shop black owned.
I'm not shopping black.
Thank you.
But y'all said something quick. I know you got to pivot. I don't know what you about to pivot to. But it made me think about some shit. We were talking about like white people know black people like to take advantage of situations. I feel as though white people the same way, Asian people the same way. Everybody like to take advantage of their situations. So I was listening to this audiobook the other day, and they said something that stuck out to me. The character in the book said, I feel like all humans are naturally evil, and they learn how to be good. Mm-hmm. Instead of everybody saying, oh no, every child is innocent, everybody innocent, then they learn bad things. But how do y'all feel about it? Do y'all feel like everybody is naturally evil and learn to be good, or naturally good and learn to be evil?
I feel like everybody's naturally bad. Just if you think about it, even barbarians, cavemen, all the vigilantes, pirates, all these motherfuckers who kind of found this shit was unhinged motherfuckers. What they realized was you can't be unhinged and have structure. And in order for anything to float, build, increase, decrease, it has to have some type of infrastructure. Right. So, of course, through time, we just realize that we have no other choice but to implement structure. But if we let people just be who they are and do what they want, most people would be bad people. Because I know for a fact, if a nigga do me something wrong, and I could get away with smoking you niggas, I would kill a lot of y'all.
Right.
If I could, a lot of you bitches fuck with me, I would literally have RJ beat the fuck out y'all. I'm just telling you personally, if the law wasn't involved, a lot of you niggas would be in Chattahoochee.
And a lot of
I also
and that's why
wanna
they say law and order.
Right.
They put law to create order amongst the people.
Yes. I want to touch on your topic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think it's all people are evil, and this is me being me. I think it's all men.
Oh, that's sick.
I think the men are the root of all evil.
What about the woman that was breaking the baby's bones in the hospital?
And
wasn't that evil?
I feel like
fucked up. Go ahead.
I feel like, because like how you were saying, the pirates and the cavemen and all those other people, those were majority men, and I feel like men.
Ooh, I'm ready to attack.
Go ahead.
Men influence others to be evil.
And guess what? Behind every evil motherfucking man, there's an evil bitch in the corner.
No, there's not an evil bitch. There's a bitch who was.
No, hold on, let me finish.
Here's the thing.
Women incite men to be greedy.
But no.
Men incite women incite men to be violent.
This
Let's
the-
be real, bro.
No.
A queen
This the-
wants something and tell her strong, conquering man to get his ass in the motherfucking field and bring it back.
No.
Hi, Felicia. I understand your outlook of it.
Okay.
Why? Because we think about evil, naturally we kind of think about violence.
And who are violent? Who's violent?
Both, but
Who's majority violent?
who is
These men.
But mind you, who is naturally stronger? Men. Men usually is the protector.
in the sense of like
Like,
mentally or physically?
Genetically, physically.
Okay,
men are supposed
sure.
to be
We can
that.
say men are stronger, sure.
But mentally, women manipulate things from the background.
I don't think it's about manipulation. I think
women manipulate their strong figure. They use men like weapons. They naturally use men like weapons.
Chessboard.
That-
Chris, hold on.
it's
Chris,
like that-
when a nigga do you something wrong, who you sitting go whoop ass?
Your brothers.
Your
no.
brother.
That's not her
If
sending
somebody do you something, if
I'm
you
calling my brother.
if a nigga piss you off and say something crazy, who you calling?
My brother.
But that's not because she's
a nigga say, hey, RJ, a nigga say something crazy to you, 9 times out of 10, if you ain't got that pole on you, who you calling?
My brother.
Okay. So,
But it's not because they're sending y'all to do things. It's
Yes,
because
they
y'all are protective of them. It's because
my
y'all are putting them in a space to feel protected. That has nothing to do with manipulating the
for your
situation.
and the fact that as a
But you just said
You just said that women use niggas as what?
weapons, you manipulate them.
And
No,
Second,
because you also
you
just
said
said that
something
men
to
are
protect
providers
you, so what?
and men are stronger and men are all these things, correct?
Right.
So why would we not use that resource?
It depends on how you. Only reason I'm saying that because my brother, he just got out of jail. The girl he was
Free him.
with called him instead of calling the police, and now he got another charge. So
Right.
I feel like you need to call the cops.
Right.
Because that is a
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's not simple. It's not simple.
When
Don't
we
get me
talk
wrong.
about
I
evil,
am.
We talk about evil. We talking about good and evil.
Okay.
Evil don't have to be just violent physically, because if
It can be
if you
mentally,
know if manipulating a situation can be evil too. That's like that the owner of these businesses or white people or the government that's using their mind to fuck the world up instead of just going inside your fucking head and tell you to do something.
But
I'm
a
going
lot
to
of
manipulate
those-
my situation to get what I want. So a woman can be equally as evil as a man if you know that I can't just go outside people's head. I can use somebody else to go upside their fucking head. I can get this nigga who
get my point
who
across
a pussy
with the
whoop.
muscle.
I get a nigga who pussy whoop to beat up the other nigga that I
ain't.
like, who get on my fucking nerve. Now he goes
That's
to
not-
fucking jail. You beat the fuck up,
we're getting-
and now you chilling.
But this is. But
And
we
you gonna
say-
tell your homegirls, look at them niggas fighting over me.
No.
girl. That's evil.
Let's make this very, very clear. You're talking about the big bosses who manipulate things and put people in play.
Manipulation.
That was
Right.
Period.
But the same way they're manipulating them in a power move, in a like, and what's the word I'm looking for? In an intellect move, they also got them goonies on the streets too. For sure. And they manipulated them the same way.
Because
or they started out
but
there
tell you.
and they grew from that to where they're at now. So
Because
regardless,
you can't have brains without the what? The muscle.
it's not about just the muscle. I'm just saying
Oh my
the
God.
point that I'm making is that men start there. I personally feel, y'all gonna hate me for this. I personally feel like this, in my mentality, when I deal with different men or when I deal with men in general, whether it's like romantic or friendship or whatever the case may be, niggas start in jail and they work their way out. That is how I feel. Because I feel like a man will do and say and be anything I want him to be to get whatever he wants out of me. And then from that, once he gets whatever it is out of me, he's gonna move how he really wants to move.
Because y'all gonna puppet the nigga to do what the
So
y'all
so you telling me he's trying to manipulate the situation?
Yes, men manipulate situations all the time.
Yeah. Men try to manipulate the situation, just like women try to manipulate the situation.
Women can, but I think men are
Are
more.
going to do it.
I don't get me wrong. I know women do manipulate
soft
situations
manipulation and
for
hard
sure,
manipulation.
but I do think that men.
There's more sugar daddies than sugar mamas. That means that's a young girl that's.
Hold up,
manipulating something.
sugar daddies are not being manipulated. That is their own free will. That is their own free
That's
will.
funny.
That is their own free will. They want money and they want to go after these young women, these young
he
impressionable
He
women.
want that pussy, and she know he want the pussy.
First of
So
all,
she's willing to manipulate his brain.
how does she
Right.
manipulate in that situation if
Because-
he's the sugar daddy?
Because
she know what he
hold
wants.
up. Manipulation.
He's also a grown ass
Hold
man.
on, let me
Most of the
explain
times, sugar daddies are what, 20, between 10 to 20 years older.
But manipulation starts when a person has a clear look at what that other person wants. Because another person can be doing something at the kindness and heart. In order to manipulate somebody, you have to know the end game.
This is what I'm going to say about that.
It doesn't
In a
make sense.
sugar daddy, sugar baby situation, nobody is innocent in that situation. They are both very much so aware of what is going on and what they want, and they're both getting the same thing out of each other. But I will say that the sugar daddy, being that he is the senior in that, is the quote unquote top dog, or is the the sole or the first manipulator in that situation, and the woman is just getting what she can and going from there.
So to pivot, who you think is more capable of leading, men or women?
Men, grown men who are emotionally mature, who are financially mature, and who have intellect.
And
Men.
Let's separate this shit. You saying men, and when you say men, you don't mean niggas, right? you talk about black men. That's the person I actually
Men.
respect.
So
Yes.
tell
The
me
niggas is the one y'all treat like
Them
shit.
niggas.
So tell me what your definition of a man is.
So
Everybody know.
Actually,
You know what's so funny? I feel like women have such an opinion on men,
Felicia-
but nobody can tell us what a clear-cut man looks like. And let me say,
I can
you
tell
can't
y'all, boy.
fabricate it to.
I can tell y'all.
You can't
I
fabricate
can
it
tell y'all
to
what a
fit
fucking man is.
your description of what you want as a man.
It's your
What
boy.
is the general description of a man?
okay,
Not super jacked,
a
but
general
Steph is
description of a
over here
man. But you're saying I can't fabricate it. But this is
So
my
you can't- but
this
that's
is my
what-
perspective of what
Right,
a man
and
is.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. All y'all got different perspectives. On
Right,
what a
which is
man
why we all
So
date different
how-
men.
So
So
what
some
is
bitches,
a man?
some bitches think that the YNs are men, and for some of them they might be.
Right?
With that,
A person like me, a woman, a grown ass woman like myself,
Know
don't
that.
want to deal with no YN. I want to deal with a
Right.
man.
Right, quick.
Every
Explain to me what a man is.
perspective is everything.
I just want to know what a man is.
So my perspective of what a man is someone who's going to protect me, someone who's going to lead me and our household in a way that's
Mature.
not right, a mature, non-controlling way. Because just because you can lead doesn't mean that you need
don't
to
have to
have
be
full
a
control.
bossy nigga.
Exactly. and someone who is emotionally intelligent and financially intelligent.
Right.
Even if you aren't.
I wouldn't be with a man like that if I wasn't. And I don't think anybody should be with a man like that if they're not.
Damn, actually, I don't want to pivot off the conversation. It's a good conversation, but it brought something up to me. There was somebody that said the other day, a lot of people are ready for a relationship, but are you prepared?
And a lot of
for
people are not.
relationships?
No.
I feel like the majority of people are not prepared for a lifetime commitment to one person.
Right.
I'm gonna say
You're
what
ready
it is.
because you don't want to be in the streets. You don't want to run around. You don't want to have a bunch of different partners. You want one person to call home.
Right.
So yes, you are ready.
But you
are
don't want to
ready
build with that person.
Build and fertilize that ground with that person.
Okay.
Let me ask y'all a question.
With the period.
Niggas go to basic
I like
training for
that.
6 weeks.
Oh, here you go.
And they train countlessly. They train for worst case scenarios. They train viciously, vigorously. They run da. But do you think, my nigga, that a nigga who go to basic training, you could take them niggas straight out of basic training and stick them in war?
They do that every
That
day.
happens
And they
sometimes.
die.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, yeah.
They don't live. They don't succeed.
First of all,
I don't give a
they're
fuck.
not out. First of all,
Oh my gosh.
And you talk about the small percentage of the fucking army. Like, most of the motherfuckers get regular jobs. They be chilling at the
They are
That's what
not.
I'm
They
saying.
not.
They can't go to war. But you
can.
train the same people
You-
the same way
you can
for
drive
6 weeks.
about this bitch
In
and die on the
relationships,
way home.
we start the
It's a small
same
thing.
way in relationships and we move on. Nigga, hey, how you doing? What's your name? My name is da. What's your zodiac sign? When's your birthday? What's your favorite color? Oh my
Damn,
God,
I can't know
like
the nigga birthday. I can't want to know his fucking
all that
zodiac
shit
sign.
starts the same way to end the same way. All I'm saying is, you can't prepare somebody for a relationship. You can only be
No, you can't
in a
prepare
relationship,
somebody for a
and
relationship.
ready.
That person should be prepared when he gets there, when she gets there.
You can't
So
be
you
prepared.
telling
Yes,
me
you
that-
can.
So you telling me that it's up to you to prepare your partner for the relationship? That what you trying to tell me?
No, I'm saying that nobody can prepare themselves for a relationship.
Yes, you can.
You can have all. If I give a nigga, let me say this: if you send a nigga war, you give him a gun, you give him a map, you give him a compass, you give him the food, all that shit, the book bag, canteen, all that shit, and you place him in war, and he still dies. You prepared him all the fuck he can be prepared, and he's still gonna die. You know why? Because in situations, real life, face-to-face encounters, real deal situations, you never know how you're going to react. A person that's never been cheated on does not know how they're going to react until they're cheated on.
I
a person
agree
who
with
is
that.
fucking, when you have sex for the first time, you don't even know how that first nut is going to feel. No matter how you went to sex ed, they gave you a condom, they gave you all that shit, you don't know.
So pretty much you telling me
There's no preparation,
no,
niggas.
so pretty much what you're saying, pretty much you're saying dating and having relationships and failing and doing and failing and doing and failing actually prepares you
For a
for a
relationship.
relationship. So you have to go through the trauma. You have to go through the
You
heartache.
do,
Have
you
to
do.
go through this shit.
But
So-
that's life in general. You have to go through trials and tribulations
So how
in
can you be
life.
prepared?
But you can be prepared. You can prepare yourself for the next one. So the first time you're riding your bike and you fall off because maybe you didn't know how the brakes work, or maybe you didn't know you were going too fast. The next time you get up on that hoe, guess what? You know how the brakes work. You know you're going too fast. So you do trials and tribulations throughout life and relationships, but the next one you get in needs to be better than the last. You don't need to keep going through that shit the same way, trying the same thing. When you got a math test in front of you and you pick the same fucking answers and you get an F on that shit, when you retake the test, you gonna pick the same answers
Can I ask you a
again?
question? Would you like a nigga to fuck you the same way he fucked the last girl?
If it's good, yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Right. You,
If the shit is good.
You damn fucking right. You damn fucking right. Cause if you giving that nigga the sloppy talk, I want the sloppy talk me too.
Hello?
I want the same shit. Don't be neat when you come over here.
Exactly.
If he like him,
Don't be
I
all
like
fucking
him that.
polite with it and shit. No.
But
Alright, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
But we gonna pivot a little bit. Hey, is your heart broken right now? Because Lil Birdie told me that you're a lost one.
We
Damn!
did our recon.
A Lil Birdie told me you're a lost one.
That's crazy because
Hold up. Before you start, I've never lost nothing. I'm up at all times.
So you never lost no nigga?
Yeah, this conversation.
Never that. A nigga lost me.
This was a messy car. This was a messy car. I got to read
It was, and I put that shit at the bottom of the deck, and you still picked it. I know you did.
It said, what was your last relationship, and do you still keep in touch with your ex?
I currently do not keep in touch with him. It's only been a week.
As of right now.
As of right now, I do not keep in touch with him.
That's real.
He is not a bad guy at all. He is a grown-ass man.
Yep.
He is definitely. He does have some more growing to do. It's no beef between us at all. However, we were on two different paths. What I wanted and what he wanted were not the same thing.
I got a question. Do you feel like, let's say like your ex right now, as of right now, right? He has some growing to do. That means he has some adjustments to make. Do you feel like in a relationship with the person that's learning, do you feel like you can actually adjust while in a relationship with the same person, or you need a new person to apply your new learnings to?
I don't necessarily think you need a new person. And I do think it depends on like what the adjusting is. So like if your adjusting is you can't keep your dick in your pants, you need therapy. That's not his adjusting, but
Therapy, great God.
if you cheat on every bitch that you've been with,
Yeah, let's say.
you're gay. Anyway,
The hell?
no, if you've cheated on every single woman that you've been with in your lifetime, it's because you want a man, and I don't care, and I'm standing on that 10 toes.
Well, can you break that shit down to a science for us? Cause my gal say that same shit.
If a man cheated, it doesn't go back to being gay.
Everything
But
goes
if a
back to
man,
being
say, for example, if a man has 10 relationships in his lifetime, correct? 10 actual relationships where he is committed in that relationship. If he cheated on every single fucking girl, it's because women are not his end goal. Women do not satisfy him in that regard. He wants a man.
So if you have 10 relationships and they all fail, the end goal is you just want a bitch.
No, I didn't say they all failed. I said they all failed because of cheating.
So
if a woman is cheating on every single man, that's period. It's not just
cheating. Let's just say y'all just break up.
No, that's different though. I'm specifically talking about cheating.
Every bitch he just don't like.
So he got to cheat on them? It's called breaking up. It's called leave the relationship.
Some niggas take the easy route, not the hard route.
Well, you got a lot.
If cheating is the easy route, you're insane.
That goes back to being ready for a relationship and being prepared for a relationship.
Exactly.
A lot of people are not prepared for like one monogamous relationship with a person. They just,
That's all you do.
You really ready to have somebody to come back home to. So like you said, like why not break up? A man or a woman is not going to break up with their partner when they know they actually like, love, and care about this person. They just want to feed their ego or feed whatever they're lacking in that relationship to go step out. But they
It sounds like I got a partner right here with me. I don't know what you're talking
They're
about.
not about to cheat and tell that person fuck my relationship up. That person fuck around and kill the person they cheating with if they tell the person they cheating on. So the feelings are still strong, but that person is not prepared for a committed monogamous relationship. But that also, one more topic before we get the fuck up out of here, Quay, we were talking about this shit earlier, about since we always talk about how much women and men be cheating in a relationship, why don't we make open relationships more regular? Why can't we do that?
You niggas don't even have enough money to satisfy one bitch.
Stop
let
saying you
alone these niggas don't have enough money to satisfy one bitch, let alone two.
I said both. So the women who be cheating a lot, and when y'all be cheating a lot, and I be knowing.
Discreetly.
Black women don't cheat.
Just like
Black men don't either.
But still, to go back to the shit, like, why don't we make open relationships normal since we feel like cheating is normal?
Because black people can't deal with another person without having ownership of another person. And then we being technical, that's why they niggas can't be friends. That's why people can't go through a correct talking stage. That's why relationships don't develop correctly around here, because everybody wants ownership and stake over another motherfucker. Which at the end of the day, it only leads you down the road that neither one of you can handle. So if you let niggas freelance and just be who they are, and let things develop like a blossoming motherfucking flower, shit'll go smooth. But you know what? Everybody always want a why, if, and a but about every fucking thing. Oh my God, I hate y'all. Just let shit do what it do. And then you'll realize that your life is more happy. Stop asking that nigga after 2 weeks, what are we? Stop asking that nigga after he fucked him at the club. Are we gonna go on a date? Stop asking niggas dumb shit.
And don't ask
niggas,
that girl why
stop-
she a cheat back.
Facts. Niggas, stop getting that pussy and being like, I love you. You don't love her. You had a good night, niggas. God damn. Can somebody?
You
stop
do
thinking
love
that
her.
way?
You do love her.
You know
and
what?
you love the coochie too.
Post nut clarity, niggas.
He like coochie.
Y'all don't know nothing about no post
even
clarity.
the Bible said nigga need time to go think. So just y'all niggas just do what you can do and go breathe.
And
then,
niggas do their best thinking after he cheat and bust that nut. That post nut clarity, be like, damn, why I'm here with this woman? I need to go back to my guy.
Their best thinking is crazy.
It be like that. But yeah, go ahead. How do you feel about
I think she agrees.
Open relationships?
how you feel about open relationships since we all feel like cheating is so normal these days?
I think that open relationships work. I think you should do what works for you, personally. I don't diss it. I don't necessarily like want it. I would never be in an open relationship, personally. But that's just because
You'll never be in an open relationship with it.
I've never.
Bitches, no, I'm not saying you in particular, but a lot of bitches do be in open relationships.
No, they don't be in open relationships. They niggas that don't be shit and they be cheating. Two different things.
Yeah, unknowingly open relationships is
Still open.
And whatever. Anyway, no, I feel like whatever works for your relationship is what works for your relationship. I don't think there needs to be a norm or a stature for anything when it comes to relationships because people are all different and what works for them works for them.
I feel like cheat with peace. Like cheat strategically to keep peace in the fucking home. If that's what you're going to
Did
do.
this nigga just tell y'all to cheat? I'm crying.
If that's what you're,
peacefully.
if that's
Don't
what you're-
cheat. Don't cheat on your girl. Just
But-
break up with her.
But let me rock out. Let me rock out. Okay. The only way I'm just saying to a specific group of people who know they're not going to be able to have a fully monogamous relationship with just one person. If you know you can't do it with respect. Cross your I's and dot your motherfucking T's, okay? So it's like, I feel like a lot of people can't do open relationships because if you do open relationships, I feel like you don't even like that person enough. You don't love that person enough to be able to, I can just share you because a lot of the times people actually try open relationships and eventually it doesn't work out. For the first about it's cool, it's fun, we sharing, we doing this and that. The nigga, he gets some pussy, he gets some extra pussy on the side, the girl gets extra dick on the side. It works for a while. But once you grow that bond with that person, you naturally just don't want to share it anymore.
Factual.
So it doesn't work out for a lot of people who actually try it.
In the words of Quay, an Airbnb is always cool, but eventually you want to go home.
Yep.
How about instead of both of that, if you are cheating all the time or you need to cheat all the time, take your goofy ass to therapy and figure out why the fuck you got a sex addiction.
Hey, what they say? Well, it's the BMQ podcast where the banner meets the people. It's your boy Boss Man Quay.
It's your boy Super Jack.
Signing out, it's Felicia.
And we out of here.
I like arguing.
That's